So within the last year or so, I have tested and tried a bunch of different microphones for my filmmaking and my content creation, a few of which you can see as dedicated videos on this channel. So I tested a lot of those. I liked some, I didn't like others. I liked features from this one, but I didn't like them from this one, and I wish I could mix and match them to create the ultimate filmmaking microphone. Then one day I stumbled upon a mic kit from a company called Saramonic, and I thought it looked really awesome and very promising, so I actually reached out to Saramonic to see if I could test the product. Much to my surprise, they actually reached back out and agreed to send me the product to test it out and see what I could do with it, and I'm actually really glad that they did. So the mic kit in question is the Saramonic ULTRA, and it's a dual wireless lav kit with a whole crap ton of different accessories. And when I say it comes with everything, I mean everything you can think of that you would need for a kit like this basically comes in this kit. So this kit comes with 2 wireless microphones, 1 wireless receiver for your camera, adapters for both Android and iOS phones, and those are all wrapped up in a nice, neat, very aesthetically pleasing charging case. But Saramonic did not stop there. The kit actually comes with an extra pouch with extra accessories, those of which include dead cats for both of the mics, a USB-C to USB-C charging cable, a TRS cable to connect it to your camera, an antenna to actually increase the range of this wireless kit, and 2 traditional style wired lavalier mics with alligator clips. So one of the big selling points for this wireless kit is the fact that it can actually record 32-bit audio internally, has 8 gigabytes of storage, and a max SPL of 130 decibels. So for those of you non-audio nerds, that's actually pretty impressive for a wireless kit like this. Another big selling point of this product is the fact that it actually has timecode to help you sync your audio in post. Now this is not something that I currently use, it's a more professional thing that professional filmmakers use, and it's not something that I would probably use anytime soon, but it's really nice to have just in case. And I've not seen any other microphone kit like this have timecode built in. So if that's something that you pride yourself on and something that you utilize a lot because you have a lot of different cameras, a lot of different pieces of equipment, and you want to make the post process of syncing all those together a little bit easier, this thing has got you covered. These mics also have a clear voice feature, which does some post-processing to get your voice to sound a little bit more polished than coming straight out of the microphone itself. This microphone also has auto gain features and capabilities and AGC noise cancellation. So I got this far in the editing process and realized I completely forgot to do a noise cancellation test with this microphone. So that's what we're gonna do. Right now I've got my main key light on, that's got a fan blowing in it. I've got a little ceramic heater under my desk adding a little bit of room noise, and I'm also gonna turn on my little air purifier here on high just to see how well this thing can cut that kind of noise out if you've got air conditioning or heat going or fans or whatever, noise, crowds, outside sounds, whatever's going on in the background. So I'm going to turn this on high. Right? So this is how the microphone sounds with all of the ambient background noise going on behind me. You should probably hear a good amount of it, especially the air purifier, and it may be annoying for other people to hear. So now let's turn on the noise cancellation and see how well it works. And with a push of a button and a change in the color of the LED light on the front, the noise cancellation is turned on. I've actually not really tested this noise cancellation yet, so I have no clue how well this is working or how good it actually sounds. So I have high hopes, hopefully. The Hollyland Lark Max has really good noise cancellation, and if this is anything like that, it'll be good too. Again, not something that I would use on a regular basis. I would rather do the noise cancellation in the editing process with post-processing, but in a pinch, if you need to filter out some background noise because you're in a noisy environment, maybe this will just do the trick. Another big plus for those of you that like to go out and about and get a little rough with your filmmaking, these microphones are IPX5 water resistant. So one of the biggest things that I like about this kit and its functionality and its ease of use is the fact that it has an AMOLED touch display and a dial wheel to transition through the menus if you can't currently use the touchscreen because it's too cold outside or maybe it's a little wet. It's got 2 ways that you can venture through the menus and pick all the features that you need to adjust and make using this product that much easier. Another thing I really like is the fact that both of the microphones in this kit have built-in 32-bit audio and internal recording, because sometimes you might run into issues with the wireless connection. I've not had that yet with this exact product, but I always try to have the internal recording mode on as well as a backup, just in case things go wrong with the audio connection in the wireless frequencies. Another thing I really liked, and it sounds like something really small, but the magnets that they include with the microphones to clip them to various objects and onto your shirt in different ways are super strong, which is really nice. A lot of other microphone kits I've used had magnets too, but they weren't as strong. The strong magnets are really nice to making them feel like this whole kit is just that much more premium and allows you to use these a lot better and feel safer when you attach them to something. Another thing that I thought was really cool, just in case you don't want to have this bulky, boxy mic sticking out in your shot, the fact that they included the 2 traditional wired lavaliers, that's really cool. They didn't necessarily need to do that. There might be 2 different versions of this kit, one that includes those and one that doesn't. I'm not sure, but I got the kit that has them, and it's really nice to have in case you want to run them a little bit differently than having the open transmitters themselves in your scene, clipped to your shirt, whatever. It's just a nice thing to have in case you want to use those instead. Another thing I really like about this unit is just the aesthetics of it. I'm a very stealthy, black, dark color kind of person, and this fits my aesthetic perfectly. It's not too like in your face or anything, so it's a lot easier to hide, and it just goes with the rest of my gear, and it just makes things in my brain go, that looks nice. And in terms of functionality, this whole kit works really well in my setup, in my day-to-day content creation and filmmaking. It's just really seamless. All of the extra features and premium features that this has makes the whole process of using this with my setup a million times easier, and that goes a long way when I can just hit record and not have to worry about my audio and know that it's gonna sound good at the end when I'm editing everything. It's just something that is overlooked with a lot of different mic setups when they're very complicated. This just really works for me in the setup that I have, and that just goes a long way for me to have longevity of using a product. And also the charging case is a huge plus, because I've used some wireless mic kits that didn't have a charging case, and when you have to charge the microphone and the receiver separately, that can be kind of annoying. It takes up charging spaces, and sometimes you forget to charge one and charge the other, and it just makes things really complicated. So having the case that just charges all 3 things together and it includes the adapters for your phone, chef's kiss. Now let's get to some of the things that I actually don't like about this kit. So one of the big letdowns with this kit is the build quality. Like, it's decent, but it's not anything spectacular. Like, it's not bad and it's not really good. It's just kind of mid. It's decent, it's good enough, but like when you're spending $300, I would hope that the quality of this thing would be just a little bit more than what it is. Now, I don't think it's garbage by any means. It's, like I said, it's decent, it's mid, it's not great, and it's not terrible, but for the amount of money that you pay for something like this, I would expect a little bit more of a premium feel. But, you know, that doesn't change the aspect of how well it sounds, but it just, the feel of it just doesn't seem to be as premium as it probably could have been. Like, for instance, I compare it to my Hollyland Lark Max setup, and I know I compare every microphone I've ever reviewed to that, but I kind of hold the Lark Max at a high standard for build quality, and it's just still seated at #1. This Saramonic kit does probably come in second place just below the Hollyland Lark Max, but the Lark Max is just very, very good at delivering that premium quality for the money that you spend on a kit like that, and Saramonic just falls just a hair short of the Hollyland Lark Max. Another thing I found when using this kit was the buttons on the sides of the microphones, both the noise cancellation and the internal recording buttons, can sometimes get pushed really easily if you're the type to hold the microphone like TikTok style. If you have it clipped to your shirt like I currently have now, it may not be as much of an issue, but those buttons are actually pretty easy to push, and sometimes you can do that accidentally, and you may not always want to do that. Now, if you accidentally record internally, maybe not too big of of an issue. Maybe you'll over-record some old recordings, because I think this unit does that. Once you reach the full capacity of the 8 gigs, it starts to overwrite your old files. I could be wrong, don't quote me on that, but I think it does do that. So you might risk losing some old recordings, but the noise cancellation aspect is a big no-no for me if that accidentally gets turned on, because that can be really good or really bad. And I like to have my audio processing done post recording, so any kind of noise cancellation I typically do in my edit, as opposed to being baked in when I'm recording on the spot. So if there's a moment where a noise cancellation feature gets turned on and it starts adding a bunch of artifacts into my audio, that's a big no for me. Another thing that bothered me a little bit, and it's a double-edged sword, because as I mentioned earlier, they include a whole lot of different accessories, so much in fact that they give you a separate pouch to hold them all. But that's my gripe with it, is that you have to carry 2 different packages if you want to take this full kit around. And I know beggars can't be choosers. If they wanted to have a charging case that like included every accessory possible in it, it would not be as portable, and I understand that. And I think what they did is a pretty good workaround, but I wish they could have at least made the charging case just a little bit bigger on the top so that it could accommodate the microphones with the dead cats attached to them, because that is probably the accessory out of the secondary pouch that I would use the most. And the fact that I can't close this case with the microphones having the dead cats on them kind of sucks in my opinion. It's kind of not a huge deal necessarily, but it is something that gets under my skin just a little bit. Another thing I ran into was the clip size on the microphones and the receiver themselves. They don't seem to snugly fit into the cold shoe mounts on my camera cage. Now that could be a camera cage issue. I've had that with other clips on different products as well, so it might just be my small rig cage, but that is something that I noticed. It doesn't fit too snugly into the cold shoe mounts on my setup, and that can be worrisome if I'm doing any kind of motion instead of having a camera on a tripod. I don't want these things like the receiver to slip out of that cold shoe and fall on the ground or just mess up a shot. So my overall thoughts are this. It's a really great product. I really like all the features that are built in. I like the functionality of it, and I'm going to integrate it into my normal day-to-day filmmaking and content creation. It's knocking my Hollyland Lark Max down a peg in terms of priority only because it has the 32-bit float and the time code, and the fact that, you know, it comes with a charging case, and I don't have that for the Lark Max because I only got the 1 mic, 1 receiver situation with the Lark Max. I don't have a charging case for that. So there's a little bit more convenience with using this over my Hollyland Lark Max. And the internal recording with 32-bit float and the noise cancellation and stuff makes this product a bit future-proof when more and more things are coming out. I'm definitely not a Rode guy. I'm definitely not a DJI guy. So when a lot of those companies start adding more and more products to their product lines, this is something that'll still have staying power and stick around for a while, and I don't have to worry about upgrading it anytime soon. So overall, this is a really good feature-packed product that would be really good on a budget for any filmmaker or content creator who's out there looking for a new mic setup. This thing has a lot of features, probably the most features you might find in a kit like this for your content creation and filmmaking. And honestly, you can't go wrong with getting it. It's probably my new favorite wireless lav kit, and I highly recommend getting it if you were already thinking about it. And I would also recommend spending the little bit of extra cash, if you have to, for the version of the kit that comes with the 2 wired lav mics, because that's essentially you're getting 4 microphones in this kit, and it's really nice to have those as a backup. And you just never want to run into a situation where you wish you had them and you didn't. So definitely go that route if you can. So if you want to get this product for yourself, there will be an affiliate link down in the description so you can get this for yourself and start making some high quality content and start really pushing your filmmaking to the next level. Let me know your thoughts on this product down in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Stay creative, my friends.